You spend years in school, multiple decades in school, some of you, yet no one's ever taught you one of the most important things in life, which is how money actually works. Instead, we talked about history, math, geometry, biology, dissecting frogs, but we skipped over all the lessons that determine if we'll actually ever be financially free or if we'll be struggling paycheck to paycheck, working for $1 our whole entire life. And I gotta tell you, and this might be somewhat of a conspiracy theory, but I don't think that was by accident. So today, I'm going to share what they didn't teach us about money and why it's costing you. We were all sold the same story growing up. Go to school, go to college, get good grades, save up, get a job, and you'll be set for life. Work hard, keep saving, and one day, maybe one day, you'll be able to retire when you're 65 to 70 years old. But here's the problem. That's super outdated, and it's not guaranteed. In fact, for most people, if they follow that plan, the only guarantee they have is financial struggle. The first lie there is go to college, get a degree, and you'll be set for life. College degrees used to guarantee somewhat of a stable, post-graduating employment opportunity, but not anymore. Unless you're a doctor, engineer, or maybe some special attorney, it's pretty difficult getting a job after college these days. In fact, even folks with their MBA have trouble getting employment these days. Meanwhile, student loan debt in the US just surpassed $1.7 trillion, with the average graduate owing somewhere between $30,000 to $40,000 a year before they start their first day on the job. And many graduates are struggling to find jobs that pay enough just to cover their minimum bills with all the debt they have. College is obnoxiously overpriced, and that rising cost of education has far surpassed average wage growth. Meaning, no matter what job you get after college, you're going to have way more debt than your income can support, and you'll be paying off for the next 20 or 30 years, unless mom or dad cuts you a check. And if they do, God bless America. So one alternative pathway young folks should be focusing on, in addition to college, are trade schools and entrepreneurship. Figure out what other skills and opportunities are out there instead of just going through the traditional college education. Another big lie we've been told is saving money is the key to success. Now, this used to be true for a while interest rates were high and inflation was low, but not so much anymore. In fact, the average savings account earns anywhere from 0.01 to 0.5. That's 1/2 of 1%. Meanwhile, inflation is averaging anywhere from 3 to 7%, eroding at your money every single month. For example, if you saved $10,000 in a savings account in the year 2000, today, and let's say you didn't touch it, that balance is about $5,500. You literally lost about 40% of your money, even though it was in a savings account. So the key to building wealth right now is not saving, it's investing. The folks that are building wealth are investing in assets that grow over time and that outpace inflation, things like real estate, the stock market, and investments in different businesses. Here's another good old lie. Work hard and you'll always be successful. I got news for you. Hard work alone will no longer build you wealth. Because if that were true, every cop, firefighter, teacher, and nurse would be rich. But unfortunately, they're not. And by the way, I don't say that condescendingly. I respect those folks. They should make 5x what they make. So the real key is to learn how to leverage both your money and your time efficiently. And this boils down to the right investments that help you earn money while you sleep. I'm talking about real estate, the stock market, the S&P 500, index funds, or other business opportunities that can yield a nice return. The wealthy people in this country don't work for every dollar. They work, but they also have their money working for them, earning 8, 10, 15, or even 20% a year every single year. They got systems in place. I mean, if schools really wanted to prepare us for financial success, don't you think they would have taught us some of these core investment principles? Like, how many people know the difference between active and passive income when they graduate high school? Active income means you have to work for every dollar. You're trading hours for dollar. No hours, no dollars. Once you stop working, the money stops coming in. Passive income is money that continues to come in even though you're not trading hours for dollars. So one of the first steps here is understanding how to build your credit and then how to use debt as leverage so you can create wealth. I mean, we're in 2025 and I still don't think schools are teaching young adults about credit. As far as I know, it's very uncommon. Yet good credit is one of the keys to building wealth because you can borrow money and create leverage. And with a 750 credit score or higher, you get lower mortgage rates, lower credit card rates, lower auto loan rates. You literally get to take advantage of lower interest rates for the rest of your life. That means the cost of anything you buy in finance is significantly lower than those that have lower credit scores. Here's an example. A person with a 750 credit score might pay $200,000 in interest over a 30-year loan term. Yet someone with a 600 credit score will pay about $350,000 in interest for the same house on that same 30-year loan. That's $150,000 more for bad credit. That's crazy. And that's one way the wealthy use debt strategically. They borrow money at a low rate to buy assets that yield a return. So let's talk about leverage and some of the ways you can invest without a lot of money. And by the way, investing is not just for rich people. You can put $10, $20 a day or a couple $100s a month into the stock market. That's literally how you start building wealth. Compound interest. The sooner you start, the sooner your money starts compounding, the more you can build wealth over time. Time is your friend when it comes to investing. Here's an example. If you're 20 years old and you start investing $10 a day, every single day until you're 60, into the S&P 500, when you're 60 years old, that'll be worth over $1 million. You got $1 million that you built by $10 a day. And again, most schools don't teach you this. They teach you how to go into debt by charging you way too high for college tuition instead of saving and building wealth. How's that for irony? So why do you think they're not teaching this in school? Seriously, why aren't they teaching this? Why isn't financial literacy a mandatory subject that every college teaches as a basic requirement? You tell me calculus and trigonometry is more important than financial literacy? I don't think so. You tell me dissecting a frog is more important than understanding how to build and preserve my credit? I don't think so. You telling me chemistry is more important than learning the difference between savings and investing and how inflation can erode your money if you don't invest wisely? I don't think so. Sorry, Mr. Roberts. I did like chemistry as a kid. At the end of the day, the school system is 100 years old and it's designed to produce employees, not independent, financially free thinkers. Schools focus on creating workers, not owners. And this mindset keeps people working for companies instead of starting their own. And I got news for you. Wealthy families teach these financial principles at home to their kids, which is why it's common for wealth to stay in the same family through generations and generations, and those kids inherit the businesses and run them the way their dads and moms taught them. Now, here's the good news. You can learn this on your own. And the sooner you do, the sooner you can escape the financial rat race, running on the hamster wheel every single day and not going anywhere that the rest of the country's in. So here's 3 ways to escape that 9-to-5 trap. Number 1, you got to own income-producing assets that generate money every month, like stocks and businesses. Number 2, increase your financial literacy. Learn investing, watch YouTube, take courses, read books. And number 3 is you got to leverage smart debt. Build your credit to get low rates, buy appreciating assets that generate wealth every single year. So let's start applying this knowledge today. And remember, just because you didn't learn this stuff in school doesn't mean you can't study up for a few months and become an expert. Personally, I didn't finish college, but I made it a mission to understand everything I could about money, real estate, and investing, which is, funny enough, how I got into the mortgage business. Financial freedom isn't about working harder. It's not trading dollars for hours. It's working smarter and understanding how to leverage your money so it works for you. I hope you got a couple nuggets today. Subscribe, hit the like button. I look forward to seeing you soon.